year remembered for headlines about wars, technology shifts, and cultural change. But in one quiet American town, far away from the noise of global events, a mystery unfolded that would haunt families, detectives, and an entire community for decades. Her name was Kelly Ann Parker. She was just 22 years old when she vanished without a trace on a warm evening in September 1991. There were no goodbyes, no note, no clear evidence of where she went or what happened. One moment she was living an ordinary life, the next she was gone. And more than 30 years later, her disappearance remains one of the most chilling, unsolved mysteries of its time. This is the story of Kelly's disappearance, the leads, the suspects, the false trails, and the lingering questions that refuse to fade. Kelly grew up in Havenwood, a fictional small town in the Midwest. Havenwood wasn't famous for much. A steel plant, a high school football team people cared too much about, and long empty roads that cut through cornfields and woods. She was the youngest of 3 siblings, known for her bright smile and determination. Friends described her as kind, stubborn, and sometimes restless, as if the small town was never enough for her dreams. In 1991, she had just finished community college. She worked part-time at a diner called Maggie's Place while saving money for her plan to move to Chicago, find a better job, and maybe start a new life. But life in Havenwood wasn't always easy. She had recently broken up with her longtime boyfriend, Tom Weller, a mechanic with a temper, and she had arguments with her father, who wanted her to stay in town. Still, those close to her said Kelly was optimistic. She talked about new beginnings. And then, suddenly, she was gone. September 18, 1991. It was a Wednesday night. Kelly had finished her shift at the diner around 9:30 p.m. A coworker remembered her talking about going home early because she had an appointment the next morning. She never made it home. Her car, a 1985 blue Chevy Cavalier, was found parked neatly on the side of County Road 6, just 3 miles from the diner. The driver's side door was locked. Her purse was still inside the car, along with her wallet and ID. But Kelly was gone. At first, police thought it was a case of someone running away. She was young, she had plans, and maybe she left on her own. But her family insisted she would never vanish without telling anyone. 2 days later, the search began. Volunteers combed the fields and forests. Helicopters scanned the area. Bloodhounds followed her scent from the diner to the stretch of road where her car was found. And then nothing. It was as if she had stepped off the face of the earth. Detective Harold McKee, a 30-year veteran of the Havenwood Police Department, led the investigation. He later said Kelly's case was the most frustrating of his career. The timeline was simple but maddening. 9:30 p.m., Kelly leaves the diner. 9:45 p.m., a passing truck driver reports seeing a blue car pulled over on County Road 6 with headlights off. 10 p.m., another motorist recalls seeing the same car but no one around it. By midnight, Kelly was missing. Naturally, suspicion fell on her ex-boyfriend, Tom. He admitted they had argued a week earlier. Witnesses said he struggled with jealousy and had a short fuse. Police searched his house, interviewed his co-workers, and examined his alibi. Tom claimed he was working late on a customer's car the night Kelly disappeared, and a co-worker backed him up. No physical evidence tied him to her disappearance. Still, many in town whispered his name for years. Then came reports of a strange man spotted near the diner the night Kelly vanished. Several customers described him, tall, wearing a dark baseball cap, sitting alone in a booth, staring at Kelly more than once. He left without ordering food. No one knew who he was. No one ever came forward to identify him. Detectives considered the possibility of a drifter or trucker passing through, but without security cameras in 1991, his identity was lost in time. The case grew darker when Kelly's sister Rebecca revealed something chilling. On the night Kelly vanished, around 11:15 p.m., the family's home phone rang. Rebecca picked it up, but all she heard was silence, then the faint sound of breathing. Could it have been Kelly, a kidnapper, or just a wrong number at the worst possible time? The call was never traced. Strange evidence. Over the weeks that followed, police collected fragments of evidence. A single shoe believed to be Kelly's found near a creek half a mile from where her car was parked. Tire tracks in the dirt, possibly from a pickup truck. Witnesses who claimed they saw a woman matching Kelly's description walking along the road that night, but accounts conflicted. Each clue raised more questions than answers. Theories. The disappearance of Kelly sparked endless theories, and to this day none can be confirmed. Abduction by a stranger. Many believe Kelly was abducted, possibly by the mysterious man at the diner. The shoe near the creek and the tire mark suggested someone may have forced her into a vehicle. Someone close to her. Others point to Tom Weller. He may have had an alibi, but some say it was too convenient. Did a jealous ex decide that if he couldn't have Kelly, no one could? Of a planned escape. A smaller group insists Kelly may have staged her disappearance to escape small-town life. But if that were true, why leave behind her car, her money, her ID? And why never contact her family again? A serial predator. Later, in the mid-1990s, a convicted serial killer confessed to multiple crimes across the Midwest. Some wondered if Kelly had been one of his victims, but investigators never found enough to connect him directly. The aftermath. In the months after Kelly's disappearance, Havenwood changed. Parents locked doors earlier, girls traveled in pairs, the carefree atmosphere of the town was gone. Her family never stopped searching. They posted flyers, held vigils, and begged for answers on local TV, but leads grew cold. Detective McKee retired in 1999, still haunted by the case. He once said, "It's like chasing a ghost. Kelly is out there somewhere, I just don't know where." In 2004, more than a decade later, hunters discovered a set of bones deep in the woods 15 miles from Havenwood. At first there was hope it might be Kelly, but forensic testing ruled it out. The remains belonged to a man. In 2011, a woman came forward claiming she had seen Kelly alive in St. Louis in the mid-90s, working under a different name. Investigators pursued the lead, but it fell apart. Every few years, new tips surface, none bring closure. Today, more than 30 years later, Kelly's disappearance remains unsolved. For her family, the pain has never faded. Her mother still sets a place for her at Thanksgiving. Her sister still dreams of her, standing at the edge of a cornfield, unable to cross over. The case has become part of Havenwood's folklore, a reminder that evil or tragedy can strike even the quietest corners of America. Some say Kelly was taken by a stranger. Some say someone close to her knows the truth but has kept silent all these years. Others whisper that she may still be alive, living under a new name, somewhere far from Havenwood. But the truth is this: no one knows. And perhaps that's the most terrifying part. In 1991, Kelly Ann Parker walked out of a diner into the night. She has never been seen again.